Hey, how you doing? This is a big one for me because for the last few months I've been going over something, and that is what is going to be my first big adventure in retirement. And I just got to admit something. My personality, as far as Myers-Briggs, I'm an INTJ. I love analyzing data. I love going over destinations, the pros, the cons, synthesizing the data and making a decision. And I said, you know what? I've been spending way too much time doing this. It's time I make a decision. And that decision is going to be my first big adventure for retirement. That is, I'm going to target the month of October and start my adventure overseas. And that adventure is going to be in the country of the Philippines. And I'm going to go over the reasons why. Because one of the data points I was looking at is, what do I love doing? And there's three things that constantly come up. And if you were to talk to me or know me over the years, seen my Facebook account, watch the videos I have, you'll know one of them is hiking. I love the outdoors. I love the physical challenge. I also love the serenity you get when you're on the trail. That was important. Any destination I was going to visit had to have good hiking. The second thing I love, that is riding on two wheels. I'm a fairly new convert as far as to motorcycle riding, 15 years. But in those 15 years, I probably clocked 250,000 miles. I love it. I also love scooters, not just the big road bikes. I've had the Goldwing. I had the big ST 1300, the Yamaha 1200, but I loved my little scooters as much as the big touring bikes. A destination, therefore, had to have the ability to have an adventure and have scooters be part of the culture. The third thing, of course, my love is travel. And anybody who's known me over the years knows I travel every opportunity, both domestically and internationally. But I really enjoy the international destination. And that is learning about the culture, the people. Because as I mentioned in a prior video, the world is one big ecosystem. We all are in it together. So I did my destination, my choice had to fit all those criteria. And when I looked at everything, I said, Philippines might be the choice for me. It's not a destination I'm going to move to, as some people do, but it's a destination I'm going to spend 8 months, the first 8 months of my retirement in. With that said, so what are those reasons? I tell you what, one, it's not like the United States. There's a little edge, there's a little bit of friction there. And people, sometimes they look at my travels and they wonder why not take a cruise where everything's taken care of? Well, I guess I like the excitement of the unknown. And you do get a little of that in a country like the Philippines. It's still developing. It has first world amenities. It also has a lot of third world amenities depending where you're at. It's not always going to be easy. The second thing, hiking. When I looked at the Philippines, I don't think, or anybody actually probably looks at the Philippines and says, hey, that's a world-class hiking destination. But when you actually look at the hikes, you look at Gutan Traverse, Mount Apo, Mount Tilinas, all the hikes up in Luzon, Cordilleras, they have fantastic hikes, and they're not easy. Some of these hikes, they have 8,000, 7,000, up to 10,000 feet of elevation gain. They're going to be a challenge, and these are hikes that are going to be done in tropical heat. You have humidity, hot temperatures, you have bugs. So when you read about problems on the trails, leeches. Yeah, it's going to be different. For me, it's going to be really exciting. So the next aspect of it is scenic beauty that I'm going to try to document and see as much as possible. Waterfalls. They have ample waterfalls. Hopefully it's not a dry season, but especially with the super El Nino that might be developing, they might be in drought. Still, I'll take a chance because the pictures I've seen of their waterfalls are pretty fantastic. The other aspect is recovery and living life. That is cost. A recovery for a person my age, if you do a multi-day hike that has 10,000 feet of elevation gain, guess what? Massage does wonders. Costs you $20, 2-hour massage. Can't pass that up. The other thing, hotel costs. You can find a good hotel, $25, $50, often right on the beach. That is definitely something that's going to fit my budget. And as far as the roads are concerned, I have done a lot of research, and you can find as twisty a road as you want in the Philippines. So the rides are going to be fantastic. And lastly, is familiarity. This is a country I have visited previously. And that is, I know the people. They're friendly. They want to help. They want to show their country. And I want to show that country as well. So it's going to be all part of an equation that's going to lead to, hopefully, a grand adventure. So what is this grand adventure going to look like? You know, the 8 months. How did I come to that number? Well, logistics. A couple of them is typhoon season. Last year, the Philippines had 21 major typhoons. That's a lot. And if you're doing your trip on 2 wheels, you don't want to be caught in typhoon season. The second thing is I kept on adding destinations. Oh, I really want to see this. Oh, I want to see that. I'm like a kid in a candy store when it comes to travel. Maybe not always the smartest, but you know, in the past, I had to fit everything in my vacation window. Now, in retirement, you no longer have a vacation window. It's the rest of your life. So basically, I took probably the longest stretch between typhoon seasons, added in as many of the sites I wanted to visit, over 60 hikes, you know, probably 40 waterfalls, numerous caves, and of course, just different beaches and locations to recover on. That came into almost 230 days, and that's where I got to my 8-month excursion. Is it going to go as planned? Maybe. But as we all know, nothing always goes to plan, so we will see. Well, that also brings us to the physical challenge. It's not going to be an easy trip. Why would I want to do it? Because of the sense of adventure. The best adventures are never easy. You never go as planned. But this trip, with those number of hikes, and with my age, and the fact that yes, I am fighting Achilles tendons that recur, flare up, it's going to be a challenge for my 61-year-old body. Who knows, this might be my last great grand adventure. But you know what? I'm going to try. And hopefully I'll take you guys with me and we'll see how it works out. But also from a physical perspective, spending 8 months on a motorcycle. This is going to be one adventure, one person, one motorcycle. Everything I have for those 8 months is going to be loaded on that motorcycle. And anybody who rides realizes, guess what? You can't put a whole lot of equipment on a motorcycle. So it's going to be logistics, figuring out what I need, a very minimalist lifestyle. And that's probably something good for me, especially in the world that we have today. So we will see how that goes. So where am I at now? Well, I'll tell you this. I bought a one-way ticket. I'm going. This is going to happen. How is it going to end? I have no idea. There's too many variables. Health could get in the way. Global events could get in the way. But I am definitely going to give it my best try to experience this adventure, experience the country the way I've always wanted to travel. And I tell you what, I know how it's going to start, but you will have to join me to see how it's going to end. I know this, there's going to be a story there, and hopefully these stories are going to be inspiring for you. As far as if I can do it, you definitely can do it. The other thing is the preparation for the trip. I want to take you along on that path too. Through my training, I know I have very specific training I need to do between now and October. I have to get in shape. Also, what I have to do to have financial plan in place. That is, if you're overseas for 8 months, what kind of redundancy do you need in your finances to make sure you don't run out of money or actually have access to your money. Very important. So bottom line, I have no idea where this is all going to lead as far as in the future, but I know this. It's my decision. Visit Philippines, hike the best mountains, see the best waterfalls, hopefully get to know the people, and come home to be inspired for the next destination, because this is my first chapter, or will be my first chapter of retirement. What's going to be the second? It's probably going to be shaped by this experience, where I go after. But with that said, definitely I hope you come along with me, because it's going to be a good story. I can guarantee you that.